Welcome to week 10 of the best year of my career, a year where I focus on music, money, mindfulness, and marketing as a way to take my musical career to the next level. And today I wanted to talk about goals and timetables and use the sun as a metaphor. So right now I'm sitting by the window and I'm using the best video light, which is the sunlight. And there's probably about 30 minutes left of sunlight before I have to go to the harsh lights of lamps. And I don't have professional lighting right now because it's not in my budget. So I only have 30 minutes to make a video. And a lot of times I want to write a script and be cohesive. And I only have half hour to do that right now. So if I sit down and focus on writing everything out, getting everything prepared, by the time I sit down to shoot this video, the sunlight will be gone. And I'm not so much a perfectionist, but I have a lot of self-doubt. I have a lot of uncertainty about myself. And when I play music, when I shoot videos, when I post things on social media, I always have that critical voice in my head judging what I'm doing. Even right now, as I shoot this video, I'm thinking to myself, keep it concise, don't say too much, keep eye contact with the camera. And as I'm saying that to myself, a voice in my head starts saying, oh, you're losing them right now. Bring it back around. People are stopping watching. And that anxiety can be crippling to me. And it gets me to a place of paralysis by analysis. And this has been the story of my life, where I think so much and I try to make everything perfect. And by the time I do it, I sit down to create it and that window has passed. And one thing I'm learning this year is to just create, just iterate, put it out there and move on. Sometimes that voice inside of my head that is critical prevents me from putting out music that is really good. But I'm afraid. I'm afraid of judgment. I feel the same way anytime I create a video. I don't know who watches this. I don't know what people think. And I would like to say that I don't care, but sometimes I'm afraid and I worry. So I'm sure you're asking yourself, what does this have to do with sunlight, dude? Well, here's what I mean. The sunlight is like a deadline for me. It's forcing me to do something by a certain time. And it's forcing me not to overthink. Now, of course, I'm going to overthink in the moment, but I have no choice other than I only have this long to do this video. It's going to get done one way or the other. And it's going to be posted tomorrow one way or the other. And sometimes the results are a bit cringeworthy for me. But I also have to remember I'm new at this. And anytime you're new at something, you're going to have a lot of room for improvement. And you're probably going to suck at it. And sometimes it's better to suck on a consistent basis than to be good on an infrequent basis. Because over time, I'm going to suck less. I may not think it, but that repetition really pays off. And as I continue on with that repetition, I find that self-critical voice in my head, volume goes down a little bit each time. Not a lot, but as I continue to do this, I get more comfortable and I become more of me. And when I started doing YouTube, I wasn't sure what I wanted to do, but I knew whatever it is I was going to do, I wanted it to be authentic. I wanted to be the realest version of me as possible and not talk in, hey, welcome to my YouTube channel voice. I feel the same way about playing music. I feel the same way about friendships, business, any type of relationships. I value authenticity, and authenticity can be really hard. It's easier said than done, especially when you're seeing all these different versions of people doing things that you feel you should be doing and you're not. And so you try to mimic them instead of following who you are. So that's another reason why I like having this timetable of the sun. It's only giving me a small amount of time, and I have to learn to be myself and to shut off this self-critical voice. I have to learn how to do that in the moment. Now, doing this overall, man, that's tough. But I find that doing these videos is a good practice in learning how to develop these skills. Now, I've been doing things like journaling every day, looking back at what I want to do, reminding myself of what I want to be, and it's just like these videos. It's not perfect, but if you look at it over time, you can see a big change. Hell, look at my videos from 2023 at the beginning of the year, 2022. It's very different. I still feel as awkward as ever, but I think that I'm becoming better at communicating, better at creating, and better at putting things out there without going over everything with a fine-tooth comb. And I also accept that I'm always going to be a little bit self-critical of myself. I'm always going to have self-doubt. Learning how to understand and address that is a big part of my growth this year. And I have a long way to go, but I'm getting better. I initially made this video on Friday after a gig when I was down on myself. And I still may post it someday because I think the real and rawness of it was powerful. But then there's a voice inside my head that thinks I was being too negative or too self-critical. But then the other voice inside my head says, well, you don't want to be too sunny and seem like too cheery and positive all the time. And I just thought right now, you know, I'm just going to shoot something simple and basic, and this is what it's going to be. And it might not do well, but it will be done. And then you'll go on to the next video, and the sun will still come up. After all, you need it for your light. I guess the overall point is that it's not easy for anybody, regardless of where you're at in your journey. Think about it like running a marathon. The winner of the marathon, they are hurting. It is suffering. It is uncomfortable for them. Just like somebody in the middle of the pack, just like someone in the back of the pack. Any way you slice it, you are going to be uncomfortable. The people at the front, they might make it seem like it's easy, but they're hurting. They're struggling. They're working for it. And I know that beginner musicians are just like professional musicians where they have self-doubt and they have ambition and they are working for it and they are trying to find something. We are all on our own journeys here, and it's not easy. And that's the whole point. None of it is easy. And by no means am I complaining at all because I love the challenge. And let's look at it this way. Working a job you can't stand is hard. Pursuing a career you love is hard. Which hard do you want to struggle for? Marriage is hard. Divorce is hard. Fulfilling friendships are hard. Loneliness is hard. Maintaining a connection with your family is hard. Being a lone wolf is hard. Any way you slice it, there's going to be some struggle in life. So what are you struggling for? Are you struggling for something you love and something that you want to achieve? Or are you playing simply to not lose? And that's a struggle in itself. I have no idea how this video is going to come across, and that's okay. We're just in week 10, about 20% of the way through the year. It's been the best and worst year of my life in a lot of interesting ways. And sometimes when it's the worst year of your life, you are putting yourself into uncomfortable situations and willingly leaning into that growth. And I've done a lot of growing this year, and I've been challenging myself, and I'm going to continue to challenge myself. And on the topic of my career, we're coming around to spring and summer months, and this is when things really ramp up. So these next 2 weeks, I'm going to spend priming myself for the busy season and getting ready. If you watched this far, thank you. If you've been following this journey, thank you. I can't wait to see what happens at the end of the year, but I'm not even focusing on that right now. I just want to keep pursuing my path, keep growing. Being mindful is really tough. I also feel like a lot of the handbrake of my potential and my happiness, it's just kind of been released. A lot of it's opened up, and it hasn't been easy, but I'm happier and I feel a little bit calmer and more in control, even on days when I don't feel like the best version of myself. And I think I got it all in before the sun completely set. So if I can finish by speaking metaphorically, the sun's only there for so long. Use it. It may not be perfect today, but create and then go on. And then next week when you shoot another video, may not be perfect, but if you keep on doing that over and over again, in a year, those videos are going to look really good. And I think for me, that's a better approach than just trying to edit and hammer things out and be perfect with everything. I hope you're enjoying this journal. If you have any comments, please let me know. Like, follow, subscribe. Hop on my live chats every Sunday, 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 1:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I also do some live streams during the week. If there's videos you would like to see, please let me know. I accept commissions for videos. If there's a topic you want to talk about, let me know. Or if you'd like to support this channel, you can simply tip venmo.com Aaron Apter or at the PayPal link at the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. Use the sun while you have it. See y'all next week.